Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
In school, we learn that civilization started in the Fertile Crescent, or Mesopotamia. As Noah's family multiplied and began to fill the earth, they found the land good for farming and the weather pleasant. One group of people decided to build a city there on the plain of Shinar. They learned some new technology, or maybe just applied some pre-flood technology, and made bricks. Instead of using wood or rocks from nature, they made bricks to build a city. That was progress, right? Well, maybe not. Suppose I go on a trip from Tallahassee to Kentucky to visit my parents. If I took I-10 over to I-75 and headed south, would I be making progress? My parents live right off of I-75, so I'd be on the right road, but I'd be going in the opposite direction. If I got to Miami and still wanted to see my parents, I'd have to backtrack 7 hours just to make progress, and I would have gone 14 hours out of my way. That's not progress. In fact, going south is actually the opposite of progress. So when we talk about a civilization making progress, it really depends on where they're headed. If we wanted to go to hell in a handbasket, so to speak, then yes, they were making progress. God had told Noah in Genesis 8:17 to be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. So in setting themselves in one place and building something that they hoped to make it all the way to heaven, in direct rebellion to God's instructions, they purposefully opposed God's command. They specifically wanted to build their city so they wouldn't be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth. They wanted to make a name for themselves. Isn't this the same sin as the first one in the garden? They wanted a tower that would make them on equal footing with God. Remember the temptation? If you eat this fruit, you'll be like God. Yep, that sounds like Satan's idea, all right. This tower was for their fame and glory, to steal God's glory for themselves. But don't we do that sometimes? Take credit when we should be pointing to God? As Solomon would say, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Whatever we do, if it's not for the Lord, it's worthless. Our popularity, our wealth, our fame is fleeting. But life is really all about Him, not us. And if our culture wants to make actual progress in becoming all God wants us to be as a nation, we have a lot of backtracking to do. As did Babel. What eventually happened was that God split up their society and made them start all over again. Using bricks could have been progress. They could have gotten together to make a name for God in that place, build a giant altar or temple like Solomon did later for God's glory. So the building itself wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Just like now, we can use our technology for good or for bad. When we use the internet for porn or fake news or even time-wasting video games, that doesn't mean the internet itself is any worse than those bricks. But when we use it for education or Zooming a Bible study or FaceTiming family or keeping in touch with friends, we can be using it for God's glory. So think about your life. How are you progressing? Where might you need to backtrack?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.